The weather. It gives us life, and it takes it away.
The tornado has touched down.
You can't do anything.
It is a thing of staggering beauty and a destructive force, killing thousands every year.
The windows all blew out.
The whole thing's gone.
It was the end.
It is gone. The building is gone.
And our warmer atmosphere is extra energy for our weather to unleash upon us.
Oh my God!
We meet the people who came face to face with Mother Nature and filmed it.
I've been fighting it for an hour.
I'm gonna sick to my stomach.
Holy! I just lost my house.
We hear firsthand how these people survived.
Oh my God! Get in the house!
He's alive. He's alive.
It's pretty much the end of humanity.
I was really convinced I would die.
Using their incredible self-shot footage, we stare straight into the eye of the storm. And witness up close the sheer force of nature.
Oh my God! Look at that! Oh! Everybody take cover! Now!
Coming up in this episode, a deadly tornado destroys the American town of Moore in Oklahoma.
I can hear it coming.
A flash flood ruins the British village of Glenridding.
I went into this storeroom and looked down, and that's when I saw the water rushing in.
A tiny change in weather has a catastrophic impact on this skydiver. And we discover why the most dangerous place for flash floods is in fact the desert. Moore is on the edge of Oklahoma City in the middle of Tornado Alley. This terrifying 1,000-mile corridor running up Midwest America gets over 1,000 tornadoes most years. They're usually too small or too remote to worry about, but not this one.
This is an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation. If you cannot get underground, go to a storm shelter.
At 2:45 p.m., May 20th, 2013, a motorist caught the terrifying birth of this EF5 tornado, the biggest there is. It was just 4 blocks away and heading straight for Briarwood Elementary, where teacher Preston Dromberger has a class of 8-year-olds with nowhere to hide.
It was just about time for the bell to ring to release the students and everybody goes home. Our principal came over the intercom and made an announcement, and she just told us that there's a storm rolling in. She didn't mention a tornado, but she said there's a storm coming.
The first people were already in its shadow, trying to predict its path. Joshua Stacy was on leave from a military tour in Afghanistan. He climbed on his roof to get a better view.
Yeah, this was a bad idea.
This was a supercell storm stretching 1,000 miles and capable of delivering more power than an atomic bomb.
This is a tornado emergency for Moore in South Oklahoma City.
Joshua was now on the ground, but the tornado was so big it was almost impossible to tell where it was heading.
Oh, come on, miss us. Oh, it's coming right down. Oh, my goodness. I gotta save my truck.
A tornado this big could toss Joshua and his truck up to a mile, so he thinks better of it.
Oh, no. It's coming right there. All right. About in it, it's tearing up the building.
The eye of the storm was 1,000 feet away, but still powerful enough to rip his neighbor's roof off.
Well, there goes something.
The tornado swung north, avoiding Joshua by heading straight towards Deanna Schofield, alone and terrified, in a storm shelter.
I'm scared to death. I have never felt my heart race this fast. I can't even breathe. Oh, I may die from a heart attack before I die of a tornado. And it's dark. Oh God, it's dark.
The path of devastation was now 1 mile wide, and Briarwood Elementary was next in line.
Our principal, Miss Knowles, came over the intercom one last time, and she said, "We have run out of time. It's here. Take cover." As soon as she said that, the electricity popped off.
In the neighboring street, door camera footage shows the 100-mile-per-hour winds outside Charles Gafford's house. They were fast enough to rip off the fittings and suck the windows out of their homes. Charles himself was hiding in an underground shelter in his garage.
You know, you realize that these things of dust that you thought, you know, were dust are, you know, 2x4s and all that debris.
Back in the school, in the pitch black, students screamed at the brutal noise coming from every direction.
It creates this deep rumble.
This rumbling sound just keeps coming over and over, and it resonates through the ground. That people describe it like train tracks, you know, just and
You guys hear it? That's a tornado. I never in my life. Oh God. That is a goddamn tornado.
It was extremely tense, a very scary. It was loud enough that we thought the ceiling was gonna come in on us.
The tornado took a terrifying 3 minutes to tear through the neighborhood. Everyone was at the mercy of the storm, and no one could tell how close they were to it, or how bad it was going to get.
Oh God, please pass, please pass. Please pass, please pass. Please pass.
it all happened pretty quickly. It seems like a dream at this point.
I hope it's over. God, I hope it's over. I hope this is the end. I hope this isn't just the middle of the storm.
This was Deanne's view, looking up from her shelter.
And it looks really shiny and sunny now.
But there was always the awful danger that it could swing back.
We are just in the classroom. We're trying to reassure the students that the sound stopped.
Guys, do you hear the rumble? I'm in the room with everybody except the rumble.
Rumble's gone, guys. It's okay.
There's not a rumble anymore.
Stay down for just a second longer.
Stay down.
They won't be able to make announcements, so I'm going to step out and see what the news is.
Okay, calm down.
Oh my God.
I saw the gym for the first time, and it was destroyed. It was totally destroyed. That's when I realized that, okay, we're not all okay. We did have students that were in the gym when the tornado hit. As I approached the gym, I didn't know what I would encounter, injured students or worse.
Is anyone in here?
They're going out the back door, guys. We're safe. If you guys
Okay.
come inside.
Okay.
And we looked for just a little bit, and then a call came over the radio that the students actually weren't in that area of the destroyed gym, but they were in the locker room area. The PE teacher, Miss Taryn, actually moved the students in the gym. They were in a certain area.
It's over.
And she decided at some point, let's move to this locker area instead.
Are there more kids back here?
There was. Did they come out the other side?
They must have.
Nobody could have survived if they were in this part, but instead the students were on the other side of the wall, where the walls did stay up and protect them.
My stuff is all in there and it's all gone.
Who?
My stuff is all in there.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
gone.
the thing is, you're not. You're okay because you're...
This field is gone.
Across town, thousands of people were coming to terms with their homes being destroyed.
That used to be the house I grew up in.
Ben Martin grew up on Plaza Towers, a suburb that was completely flattened.
That was the 7-Eleven.
My school was the luckiest of the three. There were actually two other schools that were hit by this tornado. One of those schools had students who died during this tornado, and the school was completely destroyed.
7 children were killed at Plaza Towers Elementary School, and 24 people were killed in the town. But almost everyone in Moore was affected by the devastation.
I don't get it. You know, it's not like somebody's attacking you. It's nature, but it feels personal.
Floods kill more people in the USA than tornadoes, hurricanes, or lightning. And the most dangerous place for a flash flood, bizarrely, is the desert. So why would one of the driest places on Earth be prone to flooding? The surface of the desert is so compact and dry that it's impenetrable to water, so when it does rain, it has nowhere to go.
Hold your positions. Whoa, look at that. That is crazy.
Which can be pretty entertaining, as this man in Utah discovers. The original rain fell miles away and is taking with it everything in its path. One of the main reasons flash flooding catches people out is how suddenly it can be upon you. This tranquil Australian countryside scene is transformed in an instant. The swollen river rips down everything in its path and forces our camera person to back away before she joins the deluge. From tiny beginnings grow mighty torrents. In Nevada, it hardly ever rains, but when it does, it pours in raging rivers.
It's flooding down the middle of the highway, down the median, under the bridge, and over this way.
It's easy to feel safe sitting in your car, but worth remembering that in a flood, a car is little more than a bath toy. An elderly couple are stuck inside this car. Margie Miller opens the door, but she is sucked out. Then a bystander tries to save them, but it goes disastrously wrong.
Yeah, there is one coming down, ain't there?
Yeah, there's a car coming. That guy just got swept up in the water.
Margie's husband, the bystander, and the car all get lodged under the bridge. But Margie is sent plunging downstream. Thankfully, 300 feet down, a policeman saved her life by scooping her out. Scarily, flash floods can get much, much worse. The Atacama Desert in Chile is the driest place on Earth, usually. And in some parts it doesn't rain for decades at a time. But on the 26th of March 2015, it rained 50 millimeters in 24 hours. That's actually an average storm in many parts of the world. But here in the desert, this was 7 years of rain in a single day. And the rock-hard ground just could not absorb it. The thundering flood washed away entire villages. 27,000 houses were destroyed, and 127 people were declared dead or missing.
Oh my God.
This downpour on Utah's hard ground shows the beginning of a flash flood, shooting soil and rocks onto the road.
Oh my God.
As the storm intensifies, the force of the water tears the rocky gorge to shreds.
Holy. There's rocks falling off this place.
In just 15 minutes, the rain-fueled landslide closed this freeway. Miraculously, no one was injured. But even experienced hikers can get caught out. Elsewhere in Utah, this dad and his two sons were literally up a creek without a paddle. In a flash flood, the last place you want to be is in a desert ravine with your kids. With just minimal rain forecast, the relaxed trek became a serious race against time. On this occasion, they were lucky, but they admitted their next trek will be on higher ground. This biker in Boulder, Colorado has decided he can take a run at this flash flood. Brave or stupid? Let's find out, shall we? He was incredibly lucky he didn't come a cropper as well, and that the only injury he suffered was to his ego.
And there goes my motorcycle.
If you think heat is the biggest danger in a desert, just ask Michael Henau, who took 2 days to find his bike. Desert flash floods are a driver's worst nightmare. 50% of Americans who die in flash floods die in their cars. Electrician Kerry Packer was trying to get home after a huge downpour near Austin, Texas.
The road was difficult to see. I was driving like this, and all of a sudden, I was in a moving river of flash flood water.
So it's flooding here. But the good news is that although my car almost tipped over on its top, it didn't. So you can see I'm floating down some sort of creek.
The torrent of water picked up Kerry and his car. Very soon, it began to sink. But his wife was anxiously waiting at home, so he shot this video to let her know what was happening.
In the middle of this weather, I've called 911. They've told me to roll down my windows and stay in the car, and hopefully they'll be here soon. Love you guys.
I mean, there was nothing to do but to be calm. Panicking, I think, is what gets most people in trouble.
With no one able to help, Kerry was on his own, and his car was sinking fast. He was wearing too many clothes to swim safely, and he was running out of options.
Soon afterwards, water was coming through the air conditioning vents in my car. I saw a group of trees coming up towards me, or rather I was going towards them, and so I thought to myself, if there is an opportunity to get out of this car and get out of it safely, it's once those trees get close enough.
So as you can see, I'm up in a tree because my car, which is no longer visible under the water, was swept into Reinert Creek, and I was very, very blessed that it didn't flip over because it almost did. And as it was sinking, I grabbed onto this tree and climbed up. I'm about 20 feet up right now. And everything around me is water, as you can see. It's normally dry ground around here. There's about 6 feet of water.
I ended up being in the tree for a total of almost 5 hours. So it took quite a while for emergency services to get to me. It was kind of funny because some people ask, wow, 5 hours, you were in that tree for a long time. Didn't you get bored? And I said, you know what? I was on the phone pretty much the entire time because my wife was calling me, my sister was calling me. 2 weeks later, I went back to find my car in the woods. So I hiked in about 1.5 miles. And right after where my car sunk was a drop off into the creek bed, and the water there was about 35 feet deep. That is when I realized if I would have stayed in that car any longer, I definitely would have been dead.
When the weather takes a turn for the worse, there's no shortage of people ready to make a show of themselves, doing something really stupid. In dangerous weather situations, you can always rely on your friends to laugh in your time of need. But none of these friends seem to realize they're all on thin ice now. The girl is in danger of drowning as the river keeps flowing under the ice.
I think we should stop.
Eventually, one of the boys stops this accident from becoming more serious. But knowing that the girl's okay.
I got it on film!
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I got that on film!
When getting snowed in is a real possibility, keeping the only shovel you have outside the house probably wasn't the best idea.
What? Okay, I'm stuck. See, I knew it. I'm stuck. I knew it, look. Can't get out. You better crawl, look at the snow. I'm stuck, Mother.
This guy's hapless efforts are only making things worse.
Hold on to the post. Oh, jumping Jesus, tonight nobody got done. I'm stuck. I can't get out. I'm stuck. I'm stuck.
What this situation calls for is a bit of calm and forward planning.
Oh, jumping Jesus. Mom, I'm stuck. I can't move. Oh, my God. Look what he got done. Oh, jumping Jesus tonight.
Oh, bit late for that now. Here you go, Mum. Found the shovel. Snow, ice, and a big hill equals endless sledding fun. But add in balancing with a selfie stick, and it's only going to end in pain.
Oh, God.
At least he keeps laughing in the face of adversity. These kids know they're in a dangerous place. As any sailor will tell you, the sea is a cruel mistress, but she's also a fast one. Will the boys be able to outrun her? Looking good. At least they're alive. Just very, very stupid. They're made of tough stuff in Glasgow. This old fella doesn't care that the streets are flooded. He rules them like a boss. Okay, fun's over, lads. Coming up, the British village of Glenridding is ripped apart by a flood.
Maestro, come on, let's go.
We discover how weather affects our furry friends.
All right, just hand him here and then go back and get the armadillo.
And a freak change of wind direction sends one man hurtling towards his own truck. In Britain, it famously rains a lot. But in December 2015, it became a national crisis.
Oh my God!
The hardest hit county was Cumbria, where 45,000 homes were affected. And the hardest hit village in Cumbria was Glenridding. The managers of the Glenridding Hotel had to watch their business get destroyed.
We were at the mercy of the weather. We had lost control.
And shop owner Alan Brown saw his retirement hopes washed away.
It's a change of life thing, especially at my time of life, at my age.
The day before, in the pretty tourist town of Glenridding, Liz and Selena Alley, who run the hotel, were getting ready for Christmas.
Everything was looking beautiful. We had Christmas parties arranged, and we thought, oh, we're in for a good December. You know, bookings were great, and we were all quite excited about, about Christmas.
But on the 3rd of December, Storm Desmond hit the west coast and spread across the UK.
We gauge, obviously, the severity of the weather by the Glenridding Beck. So we looked at the beck and said, obviously, oh, it's coming up quite quickly, quite rapidly. We were actually talking about, obviously, Storm Desmond, and we were saying, oh, I wonder if it's going to be a bad one.
The BBC warned us about this storm approaching from the Atlantic, and they got it dead right.
But much worse was to come. In the hills above Glenridding, the deluge triggered a mudslide filmed by a fell runner.
Oh my God! Unbelievable!
It was heading straight for the village.
The water just changed colour, and you could start to hear rumbles of the bricks and the big rocks, the boulders that were coming down.
Because we are below the water level, so we have to do, obviously, all we could to prevent the unpreventable that it turned out to be.
At 5 p.m, the hotel had 20 guests to feed for evening service.
We kept the guests safe, and we put all the provisions in place for them. And then we went down. We looked down, didn't we? We looked just down. It was the first time I went to the still room and looked down, and that's when I saw the water rushing in. It looked like a tsunami. We opened the door, so it was, as fast as it was coming in, it was going out. It found its course through the building and out, just taking everything with it that was down there. I couldn't comprehend it. It was all happening too fast. I just didn't know what to do.
Alan Brown's family convenience store was in the river too, just upstream.
We were in the shop at about 5 o'clock, trying to save as much stock that we could. It got up to above our waist, and we just said We had to go. We couldn't stay in there any longer. Looking at it, you were helpless. You couldn't do anything. We couldn't go out because the water was too deep. So we just had to stay in the house and watch it go by.
By 6 p.m., the hotel was in a torrent of water.
Our escape routes became futile because we couldn't escape. We couldn't get out front, we couldn't get out to the back of the building, and we had 30 people, including the staff.
Downstairs, the hotel kitchen had become Hell's Kitchen.
It broke straight through the kitchen door, and also it broke through the windows on the back side of the building. And that's when all the fridges, the freezer just started slamming into walls, slamming into the ceilings.
The waves of water carried on all night. It took 14 hours of flooding before the rain finally eased off. But the problems were just beginning.
We continuously had water running through, not raging water, but it was the beck. The hotel was the beck, and that's the course it had taken. And then we opened the door the next morning and we saw the boulders in the road, and we saw that no one was passing through.
Thousands of tons of boulders, rocks and gravel had filled the riverbed, permanently diverting the river to run through the village. Roads were blocked, so rescue services couldn't reach them. Locals were left with no running water, no telephone, and no idea how to fix their village.
This is Glenridding after Storm Desmond.
Then, 4 days later, it began raining again.
The water was again raging down, and I was crying at this point because we've just cleared everything as well, and it all happening again. And I remember just breaking down and saying, why again? You know, why is it happening again?
Smaller floods recurred throughout January, but eventually, 3 months after they'd started, the rains eased off, but the village was left in ruins.
Fortunately, there was no injuries, thank God. Just broken hearts, basically.
Liz and Selena's hotel was in pieces, and the repair bill came to £1.5 million.
I can remember walking through the corridors just after the second flood and just seeing how dark it looked and cold, and I just remember walking through thinking, is it ever going to be the same?
6 months on, Alan's shop is about to reopen, but Liz and Selena have another 4 months of rebuilding to do on their hotel.
When one of us had like a meltdown where we were panicked, the other one would kind of say, pull yourself together, we need to go and look after our guests. So we kind of supported each other that way, which was great. Otherwise we wouldn't have got through it.
The flood defences are now better than ever, but no one knows for sure if they will withstand another wet winter. We all know the power of water can shape our landscape, but it's rare to see it in action. Here we can see how rivers of ice and shifting glaciers might have shaped our planet during the Ice Age.
Oh, wow. This is freaking amazing.
This strange phenomenon is caused by an ice dam thawing upstream, which released a surge of water and ice, slow-moving but strong enough to take everything in its path.
That's a tree! That's a freaking tree! It's a whole entire tree!
Our warmer atmosphere means that flooding is likely to become more common. The 1 Celsius rise in global temperatures has led to 7% more moisture being held in the air. This means more rain, snow, or hail, and probably more flooding. One of the places most at risk is cities. Built-up urban areas restrict water being absorbed into the ground, so it has nowhere to go. This intense downpour in Budapest quickly overloads the street drainage. The road is soon turned into a rushing river, but this cyclist is still determined to go against the current. With predictable consequences.
Ki segíteni. Ezt a pipasztán lábai vannak, mint az enyém, én nem megyek hozzá oda segíteni.
Even moderate rainfall can swiftly create flowing urban rivers. Unlike everyone else in this Montreal street, this young lady naively underestimates the downhill deluge and is swept off her feet by the power of the flooding water. This driver decides the only way to combat this urban flood is to plow through it in his vehicle.
We're literally underwater.
That's all well and fine for him. He's driving a Hummer that's built like a tank.
USA! USA! USA!
But for most people, a vehicle offers little protection.
Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go!
In the face of an unstoppable flood.
Oh my God, oh my God!
Tossed around like a toy, even this 4x4 doesn't stand a chance.
Oh my God, oh my God. Stay back, Layla, stay back!
In fact, in this situation, cars are lethal. The power of urban floods is escalating. This swollen river has been fed by the floodwaters from the city. It's so powerful that it's managed to rip a pedestrianized walkway from its foundations, carrying it downstream. This unstoppable force seemingly meets an immovable object. But the massive pressure of the flowing water, combined with the debris it carries, has catastrophic consequences. Even steel and tarmac are no match for the sheer strength of the surge. With incidents like these likely to increase, it's enough to make city dwellers head for the hills. In April 2011, skydiving veteran of over 300 jumps, Tommy Ferguson, was doing what he enjoys most.
I was up there with two other experienced jumpers. We consider this a fun jump.
But a tiny change in the weather would transform his life forever.
Mother Nature has a way of changing in a split second and doing whatever it wants to, and you have to deal with it as you're coming down. I started skydiving in 2006. I'm an instructor as well myself. I've taught lots of different students, probably in the thousands.
One thing Tommy's years of experience had taught him was that the elements always have the capacity to catch you out.
When you're skydiving, you got to realize when you leave the aircraft, the weather may be one way, and then by the time you get down closer to the ground, it may have turned totally the opposite direction. It just doesn't matter how many jumps you have. Eventually you're going to have something happen that you may not be able to deal with as much as you want to.
What changed so dramatically on this seemingly fine Colorado spring day?
I went ahead and jumped, and I was flying into the wind, but at that point, the wind just totally shifted 180 degrees.
A nightmare for any parachutist. The force of the wind was now behind Tommy, and his ground speed was approaching 50 miles per hour.
If you do hit the ground at a rapid speed, you can roll it off, same as falling off a bicycle, falling off a horse. You're hoping that you don't break any bones or anything like that. You just roll with it and you'll be okay.
But looming into view was something he should avoid at all costs.
Well, at that point, all I was thinking was the fact that I just didn't want to hit the trailer.
With Tommy crumpled and motionless, his friends nearby feared for the worst.
I just saw my friend Tommy die. That's how he described it. But then actually you can hear the gurgling where actually I start breathing in, trying to breathe in. The other skydivers had landed, so therefore they come over to my assistant.
What's your name?
Huh?
What's your name?
Tommy Ferguson.
Hey, Tommy just got hit.
Oh, crap. After I hit the trailer and was knocked unconscious, I don't remember any of the rest of it. So I'm kind of like you all. I watched this video and go, hey, why didn't that guy miss that trailer? Maybe I got a little bit too fixated on the object I was trying to avoid, and at the same time I went ahead and hit it. I just hit it with my left shoulder.
Miraculously, Tommy had survived the impact, but it was clear he needed urgent medical attention.
It doesn't move at all. God dang it. Yeah, my hand's not moving at all.
I broke 8 bones in that situation. I broke 3 in my foot, I broke my rib, I broke my wrist, I broke my clavicle, my scapula. All the nerves were yanked out of my spinal cord, which runs my left arm, my left shoulder, my hand were yanked out of my spinal cord. When I was in the hospital, they had finally, decided, hey, your arm is not coming back, there's just too much damage to the nerves.
Despite hearing this devastating news, Tommy had only one thing on his mind.
And I just looked at them and said, yep, I'm going to go skydiving with 1 arm instead of 2. That's how I looked at them. And they were like, what? And I said, that's what I'm going to do.
Tommy's accident has given him a new lease of life, and he's determined to not let his disability hold him back. After a few months of training, and against all the odds, Tommy achieved his goal of returning to skydiving.
Your life doesn't stop. It just changes, and you adapt and still live your life to its fullest. Just because you have something happen to you in your life, or a tragedy or an accident or incident, that's not really what defines you, it's what you do thereafter.
I did! Sure? All right!
When it comes to deadly weather, it's not just humans that are under attack. Lava can reach temperatures of over 1,000 degrees Celsius. So when it's cascading down the side of a volcano like this, it's wise to give it a wide berth.
Oh my God!
This lucky pooch is inches from falling victim to the lethal heat of this lava bomb. A word of advice: next time you take your dog for a walk on an active volcano, maybe put it on a lead. From reckless pet owners to heroic animal lovers, when acres of woodland were flooded in Hernando, Mississippi, 2 guys decided to take their modern-day ark into the woods.
Dad, be careful, do not drown!
One possum right here. There's another one in the woods right here. About to go save him too.
While these friendly possums were grateful, their saviors were graceful, moving like ballet dancers across the flooded undergrowth.
Quit falling down and go get him.
An armadillo wasn't keen on joining our intrepid team. Then again, maybe he was just shy and didn't want to come out of his shell.
Okay, I see him. He's back on that high ground. He's back on this mound over here.
The possums on board are just happy to meet another survivor and show their love for their savior by not biting him when he strokes their heads. Don't try this at home.
All right, you're good.
On a frozen Lake Bavin in Sweden, a group of skaters invent a variation of the Olympic sport, curling. This boar, whose claws can't grip the ice, has somehow found itself out in the middle of the lake and can't get back to the woods. It's always difficult to explain to an animal that you're trying to save its bacon, so the boar continues to struggle throughout its journey to shore. How ungrateful. The argumentative boar is now on thin ice highlighting the dangers of skating on lakes. But she reaches safety just in time to hear the ice crack behind the camera. Who's on thin ice now? This corgi, who's been taken for a walk in the snow by its owner, is happy to act like a canine snowboard. His owner thinks it's a bit of a drag, though.
Maestro, come on, let's go.
You know, if you're going to call your dog Maestro, you need to accept that it's going to conduct itself however it damn well pleases. In this episode, we've seen Mother Nature bare her teeth.
Oh my God, oh my God.
We've seen how powerless we really are. And next time, there will be more, because weather stops for no one.